Congress just dropped a 269-page bill to regulate AI. It's bipartisan, a Republican and a Democrat co-authoring it together, and it's already creating a firestorm. The headline is a 3-year federal freeze on state AI laws. The question is whether it will ever pass. This video breaks down what it actually says and what it means for you. The bill is called the Great American Artificial Intelligence Act. It's a discussion draft, not law yet, released on June 4, 2026. Discussion draft means lawmakers are actively asking for feedback before the bill is even formally introduced to Congress. It was co-written by Representative Jay Obernold, a Republican from California, and Representative Lori Trahan, a Democrat from Massachusetts. 4 other representatives joined as co-sponsors. The bill targets what it calls frontier AI, the most powerful models trained with enormous compute, and it only puts obligations on companies above $500 million in annual revenue. The most controversial part of the entire bill is a single provision. For 3 years after the law takes effect, states cannot pass laws specifically regulating the development of AI models. This is called preemption. Federal law overrides state law. Supporters say it prevents a chaotic patchwork of 50 different state rules that would make it nearly impossible for AI companies to operate nationally. Representative Aaron Houchin put it plainly: America should lead the world in AI, not regulate itself into falling behind China through 50 different state laws. Opponents say this strips away consumer protections that states spent years building. Brad Carson, president of Americans for Responsible Innovation, called it a generational mistake. And here's the number that tells you everything. The Senate voted 99-1 to reject a nearly identical preemption provision in July 2025. The bill puts serious obligations only on frontier AI companies, those with more than $500 million in annual revenue. Right now, that means roughly 5 to 10 companies globally: Anthropic, OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Meta AI, and xAI. Anthropic alone hit a revenue run rate of $47 billion in May 2026, so there's no ambiguity about whether they qualify. Every AI startup under that threshold, which is virtually every startup and small AI company in existence, is exempt. Researchers, academics, open source developers, companies that use AI but don't build frontier models, all exempt. The bill is deliberately narrow in who it regulates directly. Frontier AI companies above the $500 million threshold face 4 major new obligations. First, catastrophic risk management. They must build frameworks to identify and reduce risks that could cause mass casualties, things like enabling weapons development, enabling large-scale cyber attacks, or losing control of the AI system itself. Second, semi-annual third-party audits. Every 6 months, an independent auditing organization licensed by the new Federal AI Center must review their risk frameworks and compliance. Third, public transparency, detailed disclosures about model capabilities, safety testing, and risk assessments. And fourth, fast incident reporting. If a serious safety failure occurs, it must be reported to the government quickly. These are real obligations with real teeth. The bill formally creates the Center for AI Standards and Innovation, or CAISI, pronounced like CAISI, housed in the Commerce Department. It's authorized $100 million per year for fiscal years 2027 through 2029. CAISI already exists. The Trump administration rebranded it from the Biden-era AI Safety Institute in 2025, but it currently has no formal congressional authorization. This bill gives it that. CAISI would develop voluntary guidelines and best practices, evaluate AI systems, run a public-private testbed for evaluating models jointly with the Energy Department, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and the National Science Foundation. The bill also formally codifies the National AI Research Resource, which provides compute and data for academic researchers, and it directs the Energy Department and NIST to lead international AI standards development, explicitly building coalitions that counter China's influence. The preemption provision does not wipe out all state authority over AI. States can still regulate how AI is used and deployed, and that's actually most of what people care about day to day. Employment discrimination by AI in hiring decisions, state law still applies. Consumer fraud and deceptive AI practices, state consumer protection law still applies. AI in healthcare, education, and housing, sector-specific state rules still apply. Privacy laws like the California Consumer Privacy Act, not preempted. What states lose for 3 years is the ability to pass laws specifically targeting how frontier AI models are built and trained. The theory is, let the federal government handle the development side, while states handle deployment and use. Beyond the main framework, there are several other provisions worth knowing. The bill adds criminal penalties for using AI to impersonate government officials, so deepfakes of federal representatives or agency staff become explicitly illegal under federal law. The Census Bureau and Bureau of Labor Statistics must revise their surveys to track AI adoption and AI's impact on jobs. The first time the federal government will officially measure this. The Government Accountability Office must evaluate federal AI adoption and identify regulations that, and this is a direct quote, unduly burden AI infrastructure, including energy. CAISI gets grants to fund security improvements for open-source AI software. And all international AI standards work explicitly excludes China from participation. The political lines on this bill are interesting and don't fall cleanly along party lines. The Information Technology Industry Council, which represents major tech companies, supports a federal framework. Representative Houchin frames it as a competitiveness argument against China. On the other side, Public Citizen says the bill strips states' authority to protect consumers, workers, and children. Public Knowledge formally opposes the preemption clause, and Americans for Responsible Innovation calls it a generational mistake. The tricky part politically is that both co-sponsors, one Republican, one Democrat, are trying to hold together a coalition that's splitting on the preemption question. The 99-1 Senate vote last year wasn't about party. It was about senators from both parties protecting their states' right to regulate. Here's where the bill goes from here. Right now, it's in the discussion draft phase, lawmakers are collecting feedback, and you can actually send your own views to gaia@mail.house.gov. After that, the bill would need to be formally introduced to Congress, which hasn't happened yet and has no set timeline. Then committee review and markup, where the preemption clause would almost certainly be renegotiated. Then full House and Senate votes. Given the Senate's 99-1 rejection of a near-identical preemption in 2025, the current version is unlikely to pass without major changes to that clause. Bottom line, this is the beginning of a debate, not the end of one. What does this actually mean depending on who you are? If you're an everyday AI user, you're not regulated, but your state consumer protections for AI model development may be on pause for 3 years if this passes. On the upside, the transparency requirements mean you'd eventually know more about the safety testing behind the tools you use. If you're a developer or startup founder, you're exempt unless you're at frontier scale. Build freely, but watch for compliance costs that get passed through API pricing by the companies that are regulated. If you're an enterprise or compliance team, semi-annual audits on frontier AI companies means more verifiable safety data about the models you're relying on, potentially good for vendor risk. And if you're a citizen, the preemption debate is genuinely yours to weigh in on. 1 federal floor or 50 state ceilings? That's the actual question. 3 things worth watching as this bill moves forward. First, does the preemption clause survive? The Senate's 99-1 vote last year is the most important data point here. Second, does the $500 million threshold hold? Anthropic just hit a $47 billion revenue run rate. The definition of frontier is moving fast, and the threshold may need adjustment. Third, if you have a view on this, whether you want stronger state protections or a unified federal rule, now is the time to be heard. The feedback window is open at gaia@mail.house.gov. New AI lesson every week. Subscribe so you don't miss what changes next.